Hare Krishna. So, in this presentation, this is basically the implementation proposal for the Varnashram systems that I am proposing. So, in implementation, the proposal is to do it in 4-5 phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, like that. So, there are different areas where we will need to modify certain things. So, first we will discuss regarding what are the modifications in the GBC. The reason is because if we have to implement something, then the head should change first, as I said earlier also. Then, if the engine is going right, then the whole body automatically goes right. So, that's the point. So, regarding working of the GBCs, basically the proposal is very simple and it is understood. There will be the Brahman community and the Kshatriya community. Brahman community will advise, Kshatriya community are executors basically. Now, the GBCs will consist of both the communities, because if one community is outside, then the community inside the GBC community, I am saying legally everybody should be GBCs. Both the communities, they will be GBCs, and both the communities will be inside the GBC box. If one community is outside, then the community inside will become autocratic over a period of time. It's just I'm just being practical in Kali, that's it. If Brahmanas are inside the GBC and the Kshatriyas are outside the GBC body, it will not work, because over a period of time they will become autocratic and vice versa. So just to avoid this, both communities will be inside. Now, how this will be achieved? The proposal is we'll have 37 GBC members. I'll tell you how this number comes. Prabhupada originally appointed 12 GBC members as executors. As I understand, it's from one letter called the Direction of Management, written in California, 1970. So according to that, Prabhupada said 12. So that's why I'm taking 12 executors, or they will form the 12 members as the Kshatriya committee member inside the GBC. And as far as Brahmanas are concerned, we are taking twice of them. Like if there are 12, then twice of them, there is 24. And the reason is because this will minimize the chances of lobbying. Means, say, the Brahmanas are also 12 and Kshatriyas also 12. So to effect, for the Kshatriyas to effect the decision making of, or the effect the decision of Brahmanas, they have to take only 6 people in confidence, 7 people in confidence, that's it. Then they can actually hold the whole government. So to avoid or to minimize this lobbying possibility, Brahmanas could be banned. Another reason is because if Brahmanas are more, they will have more legal weightage. That is good. Kshatriyas, they should have a little less weightage, legally speaking. So that is the idea behind that. So idea is 24 Brahmanas, 12 Kshatriya members. Mind you, both are again in GBC box. Now amongst them, regarding Brahmanas, even if there are 24, I'm proposing to add one more, and the reason is because if there is a tie, shouldn't be in the Brahmana community, they should be all one regarding their understanding of a topic in scripture. But just in case if there is a tie, 12 members are saying this, 12, so then there has to be a tiebreaker. So therefore, instead of 24, 1 plus, that is 25. So Brahman community will do 25 and Kshatriya community will do 12. They won't need a tiebreaker because the Brahman community's decision as whole will act as a tiebreaker for the Kshatriyas. So this is the proposal. So total 37. Currently, as I understand from this website, gbc.iskon.org, seems like there are 32 people's profile given. So I'm assuming that there are 32 GBC members. I don't know really how many are there. So I'm assuming there are 32. If there are more, then eventually that can be reduced to 37. And if there are less, which I assume now, then 5 more can be added. 32 plus 5, that makes 37. So 5 new members should be there extra added to make it 37. So total will be 37 GBC members, and they will be divided into these 2 classes, communities inside. The 12 members Kshatriyas and 25 members Brahmanas. How this will be done is we'll take internal voting on how much they will vote for each other. There's how much percentage of Kshatriya nature he has, how much percentage of Kshatriya Brahman nature he has. So there will be rating. So according to this rating, first 12 members with the maximum Kshatriya rating, they can be in the Kshatriya community, and the rest 25 will be in the Brahman community. This is the division. Now you'll say, oh, will there be any change in the functioning? In functioning, I have divided them into 2 parts. The old GBC members, or should I say the existing ones which are there, apart from these new 5. The existing ones and the new ones. Whoever will come, these 5 plus whoever will come in the future, they will be the new ones as I am calling. So the old or the existing GBC, let me call it old because that makes it more clear. Not that they are old, with all respects. So the old GBC members, they, as long as they are on the post of GBC in this life, there will be no change in their roles and functions. Primarily, whatever they are holding and whatever they are functioning, more or less, there will be no change, no matter which phase of implementation is going on. But as far as the new members are concerned, there will be change. Whoever new member comes, they will start to act according to their community function. According to their community function. Old members, no change. They will have same responsibility, whatever they are doing, exactly same thing as long as they are GBCs, no matter which phase is going on. But, say for example, there is an old member in the Brahman community. He retires. Then his roles and responsibilities will be transferred to, primarily the execution part will be transferred to the 12 members, 12 Kshatriya members of the community. And the new member in his replacement will be a Brahman in replacement. And the new member will not have any execution power, a responsibility. Rather, he will act as only advisor. He will act as advisor, he will act as overlooker. He will oversee the activities of the GBCs. And third thing is, he will also have the dethroning power. So the Brahman community actually can vote against one particular Kshatriya community member. Anyone. Doesn't matter. So he will have these 3 things to do. 3 responsibilities. So eventually, as the old members retire, all the power, execution, decision making will be shifted to the Kshatriya community. 12 members only, the entire world. And the Brahman community eventually will, as they retire, eventually will turn only as advisors and overseers. So they will advise, but and they have the power, the Kshatriya community has the power to take the advice or not, but then they can decide, but then they have to tell the reason why they are taking that decision. That is very important. And then, again, as I said, they will have the dethroning power also. Not vice versa. The Brahman community will have dethroning power for the Kshatriyas. So this is the idea. Old members, no change. New members, they will start act according to the new roles. And again, as I said, if the Kshatriya member is retiring, a Kshatriya will be replaced. And Brahman member is retiring, the Brahman will be replaced. We will not look for Kshatriya then. That's the point. And this will happen eventually, over a period of time, different phases. So this was more or less regarding the GBCs. So there will be a smooth transition of things, nothing abrupt. There is one difference in the meeting that is taken, decision making currently. Even this is applicable even for the old members. The decision making will be more like electronic voting, that like Prabhupada said, everyone will have a casting vote, everyone will have their own vote, and even the president will have his own vote. And the decision of the meeting, whatever is the majority, that will be the decision. So that is the only difference in the functioning. Apart from that, more or less, won't be too much of difference for the old GPC members, as long as they are on the GPC post. There are a few things in the Gurukul in the first phase also. In the Gurukul, primarily, the advice is to, for the sannyasis to go and teach to the Gurukulis. It will be more or less it will be more or less like they are replacing the existing teachers' staff. Something like that. They will have more frequent visits. That's the point. And that is recommended in the same, because sannyasis they travel and preach. They are into preaching actually. And this will be more or less in the first phase. When the Gurukul full-fledgedly starts, and things may change. There is another activity that will go on parallelly with in the first phases. In fact, all the phases is this Projectopia, completion of Projectopia. What is completion of Projectopia? Basically, if you want to implement something, you should know what it is. Like, if you want to implement certain, say for example, something in farm community. I know, as with my knowledge currently, whatever is there about the Varnashram, I have studied this. So, as I call it, the Projectopia. I know where this farm community plugs in the main body of the political system and social. I know where it comes, where it fits, and principally I know what it does. I know principally what Gurukul does and where it fits in the main body. But I don't know the details of it yet. I don't know details of it. So that's why the Projectopia, the understanding of Varnashram should be more in detail in certain areas where we are still not yet. So that is the point. So completion of the Projectopia is important, very important. Then only we can start doing something. Now why we are doing something even though we are not, because we know certain things already. We know Prabhupada's instruction regarding political system, we know something about the social system also. That's why we are changing certain things. We already know these things. And other details that we don't know, that we are trying to find out. So Projectopia, completion of Projectopia is a very, very important thing. Then only we can touch Gurukul, farm community, whatever other things, details are there. It will be a little easier this time because the main thing is already there in place. So you just have to find out the instructions and plug in things. So that's why, because we don't know greatly about these topics, at least I don't know. So that's the point. Of course, everybody may be knowing already. So point is, completion of this project is important. Once we know it, then it can be implemented, and that will take a bit of time. So that's why Gurukul and farm community have taken in the last phase. Two of the last phases. That's the point. But to start with, yes, Gurukul, they will have the sannyasis visiting frequently more. There's something about the Insight software. The name Insight, just a name for reference. The name could be anything. Insight software, basically the proposal is that major functions of the temple, they will be operated by a software. Just like when you go to a bank or a certain office or some corporate office or something, they have this software they use for daily functioning. Like somebody wants to fill up a check or withdraw some money. So you don't have to necessarily go and stand in line. They have this. Even from mobile you can do a lot of banking or computer or whatever. So this is done by a software, or you would prefer to call it app. It's also called an application. So this standalone application basically. It will be something like an ERP software, if I'm not mistaken. They call it in corporate circles, the enterprise resource planning software. It will be something like that, but customized to temple. And we will be talking about this particular software thing a bit later. And I will tell you exactly what exactly this software is and how it functions and everything. But as far as this phases are concerned, part 1 will have more or less something like this. A bit of details are there, you can please see the chart. As far as the implementation of this software is concerned, it will be in the phase 2. Phase 1 will be for around 2 to 5 years, say example. And we complete certain modules. Modules is like certain functions, certain areas, like service module, or we'll come to that. So those can be implemented in the phase 2 as a testing, at least in one temple. And if it is successful in the phase 2, then it can be implemented in other temples in phase 3, starting phase 3. That's the point. And phase 2, phase 3 and all other phases are basically forwarding the same agenda for all. That's more or less, it's like that. You can read the details if you want. And by the way, this is just a first draft of it. Whatever projection we can have, that's the only given. In practicality, things might change a little bit. But more or less, principally, it will be something like this. Now, I will tell you a bit of details regarding the software. I'm calling it the Insight software. Again, the name could be anything. The first module we look at it is the election module. How elections will be taken place, how will we select the leaders. Now regarding this, if you remember in the democracy presentation, Prabhupada says 2-3 things regarding how we select a leader. First thing he says is the Brahmana should select who is a leader if you want to find out. That's the process he says. Another place he says, if the people want to elect, general people want to elect, then they should be amongst Krishna conscious candidates. Third thing is the Kshatriya community, they should appoint. It's in the one of the letters. Not exactly Kshatriya community he says the existing members of the body they can elect. That's what he says. Appoint, he says. So these three I have tried to club in together in this. So the idea is the Brahman community, they will select the electoral candidates. Say 4 or 5, whatever. They will select, okay, these are the electoral candidates for the leadership. Amongst them, then general devotees, they can vote for their leader. And then whatever are the elected members by the general public, the existing Kshatriya body, or as they call ED for temple, they can decide whether to take this fellow or not. They also have the right. So all three are deciding. All three conditions are met more or less. Like the Brahmans are selecting actually, and the general public is also electing, and the Kshatriya community, they are also appointing. So all three conditions are more or less fulfilled. So that is the idea behind this. Now you say, okay, this looks okay, but then how exactly you find out who is the Brahman? How do we get the Brahman community? For that, there is a system called the CDOC system. I call it CDOC. Just remember, CDOC system basically is a system where we get the Brahman community, or even Kshatriya community, whichever we find out what is the Varna basically. That is the point. What exactly in principle CDOC system is, we simply say there is a group of devotees in a temple. So we take one devotee and ask other devotees how much percentage of Brahman qualities he has, how much percentage of Kshatriya qualities he has, say Brahman community, how much percent of Brahman quality he has. They say, okay, he has 50%. Alright. Second member, how much percentage of Brahman quality he has? And so 39%. Okay. So all will get their own percentages by voting amongst themselves. And the top 10, we will consider them as Brahman community. That's in gross terms. It will not be as simple, but principally it will be something like this. We'll be asking the devotees. That's the point. And we'll see this CDOC system exactly how it will work. We'll see in details. But the thing is, CDOC system will give us the Brahman community. Brahman community will give the electoral candidates. General public will elect from them, and they will be appointed by the existing EDs. They can even reject the person actually. So that's the principle. Now there is one point regarding this. There could be some people who are coming from the Gurukul. They are trained. Eventually, there are some people who are well trained Brahmins from Gurukul, acknowledged in the Gurukul. If they come, actually they will also be going through the CDOC system. They will also be going through the general public should say, yes, he is a Brahmanical quality person. The only difference is that this Gurukul person, for his training, he will get 5 extra points, 5 extra percentage. It's a big number actually, percentage is a very big number. So he will get 5 extra percentage. So say for example, general public has voted him as say 45%. And there is another candidate, he gets 47%, who is not a Gurukul person, but he is a Gurukul person who gets 45. So because he is from Gurukul, he will get 5 extra percentage. So he will be 50. So he will be more weighting than this person. He is 47, he is 50 now. So that is the advantage for people coming from Gurukul. That's the point. But yes, mind you, both have to go through the CDOC system to be identified as Brahman or a Kshatriya committee member. That's the point. So according to this system, every temple can have 3 flavors. Now this again I am saying can be done for Kshatriyas also. Brahmanas and Kshatriyas both communities. So in any temple, a temple could function in 3 different modes, should I say, flavors. In one flavor, there will be no Gurukul trained person in the Brahman community. No Gurukul trained person in the Brahman community. Everybody is coming from only the CDOC system. That's one possibility. That's good also, fine. Second is, there is a mixture. Some are non-trained Gurukul members, some are trained Gurukul members. So both are there. And that is also good. That is a mixture. It's better than the first one because they are actually well trained from Gurukul. And the third category is all are from Gurukul. That is very good. That is best. But that will eventually happen. And mind you, a temple who has got all from Gurukul, they can roll back to the previous version also. Just in case if the next year one person retires from the Brahman community and there is no one from the Gurukul to replace him. So yes, then another person from this local temple, he can be appointed. So they can roll back to the previous version also. So that is the point. So just to mention that a temple can be running in 3 different flavors of this. The best will be all from Gurukul and only from that local temple is also good. Now, why we are able to do this, why we are able to find out, although these people are not, those who are being non-Gurukul members elected as Brahmans, we'll still call them Brahman, take them as a part of Brahman community, although they are not trained as Brahmans. The reason is because they are following the fast process. We are relying on the fast process for them to come to mode of goodness. Are they trained Brahmans? No, but then this is the middle of the way solution. What solution do we have otherwise? Kali Yuga is very difficult to find so many Brahmins and everything in. But then yes, we can definitely rely on this fast process. It brings a person to mode of goodness and his ideas of devotional service are clear. So that's the point. And Kshatriyas also. So same thing goes on. We rely on this fast process and pick people from local temple also. And that is the principle behind we are able to select people like that. Now we'll have a look little bit at the service module. Service module is like somebody wants something from particular department. You are in temple, you are a general devotee and you want something from the temple. Say for example, a particular Mataji, she is they are garlanding everything. So they need a thread that they need. So they need a thread. So instead of going manually and asking the person in charge, this software will do the job for you. So you can actually literally do it on a computer or setting on your mobile phone or whatever. You can just log in to your account and apply for that thing. Say for example, she wants a thread. Fine. So it will be automatically going to the concerned person, which I call as the ground level service provider. The ground level, the immediate person whom you tell, oh, this is the garland making department, and immediate person, if thread is not there, you tell that. So that is the person, immediate person. So automatically the request will go via software to this person. He will be notified, oh, there is a need for a thread. Fine. So he will purchase and give it to. Now the thing is here, just in case if he fails to complete this task, say give this thread in 24 hours of time, whatever we will decide on that. For each service it could be different. I'm just giving an example. So if he doesn't do it in time, say 24 hours, then automatically his responsibility will be shifted to the upper level, that is the department in charge, and he himself will be punished with a memo. Just remember this memo. He'll be punished with one memo on his name. That's it. Just I'll tell what exactly this memo system is. And then responsibility will go. Now, if the department in charge does not do it in time, if he doesn't fulfill it in 24 hours, next 24 hours again, then he will get a memo and the responsibility will go again at his top, that is the ED community, executive directors of the temple. If they don't do it in 24 hours, it will go to the zonal secretary. And if he doesn't do it in 24 hours, it will actually go to the GBC. And whoever is passing the responsibility up, they will get a memo. See, even zonal secretary, if he doesn't gives it in time, then he will be punished with a memo and the responsibility transferred to the upper level, that is the GBC. So that is the thing. Now, all this will be done through softwares and they will be notified, oh, I have got this responsibility now because this fellow has not done his job. So that's the point. So this system is not new. These are all already being used currently in many offices, private and public sectors and all. This is very common. This is nothing new in this. But it's a very good system. And I will tell something about this memo now. At every level, everybody will have a certain number of tolerance for memos. Like, I'll give an example. The ground level, as I said, the ground level person will have 64 memos, maximum allowed for his name in his high. If his number of memos awarded to him exceeds 64, then he will be out of his post. Automatically, he will be ejected out of his post. That is the point. Same thing for the department in charge. If his number of memos gets more than 32, then he will be out of post. And for ED community of the temple, 16 memos. For the zonal secretary, 8 memos. And for the GBCs, 4 memos. So, if technically speaking, if the Mataji, she does not get her requirement, then technically speaking, even practically actually, even the GBC can go out of his post just because this one particular devotee in the temple was not given this his requirement. It is as serious. Of course, these conditions will be a little far-fetched. Such cases won't happen, but yes, it can happen. That's the point. So, it's a very good system, memo system. So, maximum number of memos. Now, one point regarding this is, if somebody has got, say, particular ED or a department in charge, there are 16 memos already on his name. But for consecutive 5 years, he did not have any memo on his name. No memo punished on his name. Consecutive 5 years. Any consecutive 5 years. Then one memo will be dissolved for him. Then he will have only 15. That is the point. So this will be applicable for any level. Consecutive 5 years, if you don't have memo, then your one memo will be dissolved. Regarding the search system, don't bother too much about this chart as such, this arrows here and there. If you want to study them, you can study. It is not very difficult. Just the principle remains the same, as I told you. A little bit about the justice module now. Justice module is Nyayadan basically. If somebody has some dispute or something to say or whatever, so disputes can be settled in the, as Prabhupada said, they will be settled in the ED community, the Kshatriya community. All disputes will be settled there, as they have this darbar, whatever, earlier they used to have that. In that there will be 3 levels, of course. The decision making will be, judgment will be given by the ED community, the zonal secretary or the GBCs. There will be something like the local court, the high court and the supreme court. Something like that. So the dispute will be taken to the ED community of the temple, the executive directors. So they will give their judgment. Now, if one of the two parties, they feel, no, this judgment is not right, I want to take it to the higher person. So they can actually take it to the higher person, the zonal secretary. Then the zonal secretary will give his judgment. And again, if one person says no, then he can take it to GBC and GBC's word will be final. Now say, oh, then everybody will take it to the higher level every time. No, that is not possible every time, because in case if say for example, it is escalated to the zonal secretary level, and zonal secretary feels that, there was a serious blunder. He is just the party who is escalating this issue, pushing it to the next upper level, to my level. He is just using it for the sake of it. The case is very clear. There is nothing to be. Then he will say, oh, you are just simply wasting this thing. So his credibility, he can actually reduce his credibility point. Every person will have credibility. The significance of credibility point would be that if he has his credibility point reduces, then eventually he will lose the right to escalate issues up. So that is the point. He will lose his right to escalate issues. Escalate means push it up to the next level. Appeal to the higher court. That's the point. He will lose that right. And on other hand, if the zonal secretary feels that, oh, what this person is saying is right, the decision is very clear, but the EDs gave a very wrong judgment, and the case is very clear. So if he decides, he can actually punish the ED also, lower court judge. That is also possible. And same GBCs can do for zonal secretary. That's the point. But GBC is the final word. If any small matter, if it goes to GBC and GBC gives us verdict, that is final. So this is more or less the court system or judgment system or justice system. Just a bit about this justice system. Again, if the justice is not delivered in 24 hours, then again the concerned authority, they will get a memo and it will pass on automatically to the higher level. Now a bit about the administrative module or the working of the ED community. The ED community are the executive directors of the temple. So how they will work? So ED community is there, and then there will be Brahman community. This Brahman community will give advice. Now when the ED community takes a decision, if Brahman community has a say in that, then they will give advice regarding that. And the decision will be again reviewed in light of the Brahman community's advice. And of course, the final decision is of the Kshatriya community or the ED community. But yes, they have to again give the reason why they took this particular decision. No matter they take the advice from the Brahmanas or not, they must give the reason for that. And the reason is expected to be according to scriptures. That's the point. Because if these people do go against the scriptures too many times, then Brahman community has the right to dethrone them. So that they will always be a watch. So although they have the decision making power and they can literally reject the decision of the Brahman community, but they have to give the reason why to the public also and to everybody why they took that particular decision. And over a period of time, if these Brahman communities feel that a particular member is going too much out of track, out of the set laws or the scriptural codes, then they can actually dethrone one person from the Brahman community, Kshatriya community. That is also possible. They will be overseeing the activities of the EDs. So this is the way this will function. You can study this a little bit, whatever. Now I will tell you how exactly this CDOC system works. CDOC system again is a system by which we find out who is a Brahman, who is a Kshatriya, like that. Now in this CDOC system, as I said, we will be asking the general public. Say, take one devotee and ask the general public, general devotees, oh, how much Brahmanical quality he has. So of course it will be like that, but in practice it will be a little different. We will not be asking them directly, oh, how much Brahmanical quality he has. We will not ask them directly, oh, how much percentage Brahman. We will rather ask them, how much rating does he have for Brahman quality, different Brahman qualities. That is the way. I will tell you how it goes. Now these are the 3 shlokas for Brahman. One from Bhagavad Gita, from Srimad Bhagavatam, and again from Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto. So according to these 3 shlokas, the qualities of Brahman are given. Again, these are the list of qualities. Amongst them, the blue ones, highlighted ones, are the unique qualities. They are not repeated ones. Unique qualities. This is just the list of the unique qualities that we collected from these 3 shlokas. Now in this list there is one small modification that is being made. The satyam or the truthfulness goes up, and the reason is because Prabhupada says so. The first quality is he is truthful. That is the first quality, and Prabhupada says it in several times. Because the first quality, satya, shama, dama, because it is the first qualification. So telling truth is the first qualification. That's why it is kept at the top. Now say in a temple there are 108 devotees, in which of course our Jo Prabhuji and Nimai Prabhu is also there. Now in a temple, in this inside software, every devotee will have his own account, login and password. So he can log in into his own account, and in his account he can enter into this CDOC system and vote for every devotee, every other devotee. Like say this is Nimai Prabhu's account, he has logged in into his account. So account basically will be something like, you have this your own social networking account or your Gmail account or this account. So you have this dashboard sometimes, so like that. So Nimai Prabhu has entered into his account and he wants to vote for Brahmanical qualification for devotee 1. So there will be different, these qualities will be listed, and he will say, oh, Satyam means devotee 1 is this much percentage Satyam. This will be out of 1000 or 100 also, it doesn't matter. Here it is 1000 given. And once he has voted for devotee 1, he will go for devotee 2. And so devotee 2 is this much percentage Satyam, he is this much percent of mind control, this much of sense control and austerity and all these things. He will rate him like that. Of course, say just case Nimai Prabhu, he does not know too much about devotee 3. He can simply skip him. That is very much possible. And say, the Nimai Prabhu wants to vote for Bhakta Jo. And just in case for sample I am just giving. So he votes him like this. He thinks that he is out of 1000 points is 540 marks for Satyam, truthfulness and other things. So like that. And then devotee 5, likewise, all the devotees still 108. Except himself, of course. Now like that, as Nimai Prabhu has voted for devotee 1, all the devotees in the temple will vote for devotee 1 according to his qualities. And so the average of all comes out to be 350 for devotee 1 for Satyam. And his Shama qualities comes to 267. Dhamma comes 474. This is the average of all the devotees voting for devotee 1. So his total percentage will come to 40%. This is just the finding out the percentage from these marks given. For devotee 2, these many marks, this much percentage. For devotee 3, this much marks, this much percentage. Say Bhakta Jo, these many marks. This is just the sample calculation of percentages found out. Just add up all these numbers and find out the percentage. So Bhakta Jo gets our Bhakta Jo gets 46% for Brahmanical qualities. Likewise, all the devotees of the temple, they will vote for each other and everybody will get his own percentage for Brahmanical quality, of which we will find the top 10. And these are top 10 scorers for Brahmanical quality. And they will form the Brahmanical community of the temple. Thus we will get the Brahmanical community from the CDOC system. It's just to give an idea how exactly it will work. This is the CDOC system. Now there is an important thing that I want to mention in this is, the whole thing, the administration and everything, it depends on the Brahman community and the Kshatriya community. The selection of these two communities. And that is dependent on the CDOC system. And this CDOC system is dependent on how much truth the general devotees speak for each other. Like here I am saying, Nimai Prabhu, he is voting for devotee 5, say. Or he is voting for Jo Prabhu. So is he truthfully voting it? To what extent he is truthfully doing it? So that is the criteria. So the whole system boils down to general devotees speaking truth for each other. Of course, that's not the only criteria. There is also your own judgment could be wrong and other things are there. But then this is the best bargain we are saying. But grossly what is there in our control is general devotees, how much they are truthful to in voting for each other. That is the point. In other words, the whole system is based on truthfulness, which happens to be the last limb of religion. And if the day this is broken, to the degree this is broken, to that degree CDOC system will fail. And to the degree it is, kept solid, to the degree devotees speak truth to each other, about each other, because this will all be in private. Nobody will be able to see it. You will do it yourself. So, to the degree you do it truthfully, to that degree the CDOC system will have solid weightage. Then you can, try to find out the best available person for Brahmanical community or Kshatriya community. And the Varnashram dharma can be established. But if devotees start speaking lie or they start entering something, then the CDOC will give not appropriate results and the things will collapse. So this is the crux of this. There is no perfect system. So this also has this particular thing that this will work only as long as devotees speak truth. And once the last limb of religion is broken, CDOC system will fail. And of course, the same applies for the GBCs also. They are also being selected in a similar manner. So, in a sense, this not exactly Varnashram, but something like Varnashram is based on general devotees speaking truth. It's based on the last limb, pillar of religion. So, that is the pillar. Of course, there will be one, it won't be so simplistic also. Of course, this is good enough. There will be also the weightage point of every vote. Like if many devotees vote for truthfulness a little less for a particular devotee, then his weight of vote, WOV, wow, that will reduce a little bit. So his vote won't carry one value. He'll carry the percentage of that fraction of his ability to speak truth. That is also one factor adding. So it will give a little safety even if somebody speaks lie about somebody. So, but yes, eventually if ultimately it's basically based on, no matter how much solid you try to make it, there is nothing like a perfect system. Either in any case, it cannot be perfect. At least in Kali Yuga, it becomes very difficult. So that is the point. A little bit about laws now. I have given some things about laws, but I will not discuss too much about these laws. But just to sum it up, there will be three types of laws: the primary laws, the secondary laws, and the tertiary laws. Say in a temple, the primary laws are like the direct instructions of Prabhupada, which are given. You can study this map. It's something. If you are not from a technical background or something, don't bother about it. It's a little simple, but just in case, the principle is like this. The primary laws are by direct Prabhupada instructions and everything. The secondary laws are from books law books, codes of religion. They are recommended by Prabhupada, like the Parashara Samhita and Manu Samhita and other books like that, which are recommended by Prabhupada. From them. So these are the secondary laws. And you can study this map if you like. And then there will be tertiary laws. The tertiary law is like in a temple you want to put certain law because it is a need of the hour or need of the situation. But it's not exactly given in the scriptures or not said by Prabhupada. So these are tertiary laws. So primary laws will carry the maximum voltage, secondary will carry the second level voltage, and tertiary law will carry the last voltage. It will be like, fine. So these are the three, and the way it is found out or formed, that is also given a bit in detail. If there is a conflict, what is to be done and everything. So if you want, you can study this map. So this is a little bit about the laws. Probably this will be more a part of the OPI project than the temple, because more or less the laws will be standard for the entire temple. So all the temples rather. So that's the point. So this is more or less all about the implementation part. And as I said, this whole thing is based on this CDOC system, and is based on the principle of truthfulness, the last limb of religion. Second thing is the exact form of varnashram, it cannot be established. It will not be, and that was not my idea also. This is not exactly the form of varnashram as the Vedic style, exactly the precise way of varnashram, but it is something like varnashram, the best possible in my idea that we can do in the practical situation in Kali Yuga. So this was my proposal. I gave this proposal because then to validate, yes, well, you said so many things that the project looks okay, the knowledge is good, but then what do we do of this particular? How do we actually implement it? So that's why I gave this proposal, a step by step, a roadmap, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, and how exactly these things can be implemented practically with as less ease as possible. Now yes, a lot of things are changing, but then yes, if you want to implement something as big as Varnashram, certain changes are to be done. So changes are inevitable if you want a revolution. The only thing that can be done is you make it as smooth as possible. That was the attempt here. You make it as smooth as possible, as peaceful revolution as possible, as Prabhupada calls it, a peaceful revolution. That is possible. But yes, without revolution, Varnashram cannot be established in ISKCON. It's not possible. You cannot say that, bring about a revolution, make everything nice, just don't change anything. That's not possible. Changes are needed, and it will be softer. It will not be abrupt. At any level, even in temple level, it will not be abrupt. Although I am talking about election and everything, it will be smoother. Just like I have discussed a bit regarding the GPCs. And again, this will not be exactly a Varnashram as such. It will be something like Varnashram, but not exactly Varnashram. The reason is because this is, of course, it said in scriptures Varnashram Maududra. And another thing is, exact Varnashram is very difficult to form in Kali Yuga. And this is the best available alternative, according to my understanding. This is the best available form of Varnashram that we can practically have in Kali Yuga also. So, that was my proposal for implementation of Varnashram. Haribol.